Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Girl from Schenectady podcast. I'm your amazing host, Aduayo Magic Kodumi, a.k.a. Ayo Magic, the girl from Schenectady. Hope you guys are doing well. So this episode, y'all, I hope you are ready because this queen I got here, this queen bee in this room, y'all better get ready because I've been trying to get her on this couch for a minute. She's very busy in Hollywood doing a lot of amazing things, shaking things up. And I'm just so thankful to have her here. She's one of my favorite people on earth. But a little bit more about her before I introduce her. So she is an award-winning director, writer, and producer known for crafting compelling stories across both scripted and unscripted television. She is most known for her work on TV One's acclaimed series Unsung, where she served as co-executive producer, and over 10 seasons she wrote and produced episodes profiling iconic musicians, leading to 6 NAACP Image Awards. She also wrote and directed the short Yemi's Dilemma, which won Best Narrative Film at Black Cinema International Berlin. She also directed the film Who Do You Know? About HIV and AIDS in the Black teen community, episodes of the web series Consequences, and the 2024 short My Film Salsa Love. She also co-wrote and produced the provocative short film on gun violence, First Day Black, starring Loretta Devine and Aisha Hines, that won Best Narrative Short at the International Black Film Festival and aired on All Black and Amazon. Her scripted television credits include producing Black Girl Erupted for BET Plus, writing for BET Her Presents, The Hotline, and The Waiting Room, and serving as co-showrunner and writer for 2 seasons of the all-black comedy series For the Love of Jason. In the scripted space, she has produced a range of shows including American Gangsta, Trap Queen, Celebrity Crime Files, and Unsung Hollywood. A first generation American, she is her culture has greatly shaped her storytelling, and she aims to highlight immigrant and first generation stories in her work. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my Nigerian sis, Sade Oyinade. Hey! What's up?
Like,
Did I said it right?
Yeah.
I always feel like
Onyade.
Oyinade. Okay.
Yeah.
I always try to put that little Nigerian in there when I say your name. How are you, my love?
I'm good.
Yeah, thank you for being here. It means so much. I know you're busy because I've been trying to get you on here. Yeah, you've been busy. So I'm so thankful to have you here. So before I start, I love to start with a quote. And I found this quote. I thought it was interesting. So I want to get your opinion. Okay. It says, "Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations," by Mae Jemison. What do you think that means?
I think it means, like, what it makes me think of is like when we, especially people, and it could be anything you want to do.
Yeah.
I think about people in the industry in the entertainment industry, because we're like an artists of all kinds.
Of
Usually
course.
the people who are told that you can't do something or that it's hard. So.
Yeah.
I think whenever anybody has a dream or something they want to achieve, it could be anything. It could even just be something you want to obtain for yourself. Like, I want to get this really big house somewhere. I think other people some people are limited in what they believe they can do or achieve. Yeah. And then they try to put those beliefs on you. So I think you just can't ever be limited by what somebody else can believe or imagine or think for themselves. You just it's got to be about whatever you believe.
Exactly.
You can't be limited by what someone else believes, because they might not believe in themselves. They might not have the capacity to believe. They might be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love that. I totally agree with you. And I'm just like, for her to even say this quote, Mae Jemison, like, she must have had people telling her that she couldn't do what she was doing with her life, because she was amazing, right? She was like an astronaut, the first Black woman to go in space and all these amazing things. And that's what it made me think of, is that it's unfortunate that we live in a world where, especially in the entertainment industry, people can't accomplish their own goals and they put limits on themselves, and they have a problem with seeing other people do things they can't do.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me. And that's what made me think of this. I'm like, why would you limit other people? Like, we're all different, y'all. We're all different people. We all have different goals, different purpose, and some of us are more willing to handle certain things more than other people, which is why we're able to go farther. Whereas some people just give up real quick. They're like, I'm done. I can't do this. You know?
Yeah. Sometimes I think it's also because of people's circumstances or where they're from. They haven't seen people do more or reach for more. So then they just see, they can only dream as far as what they see. And they're like, oh, that's not possible. Or some people think it's hard. I remember when I was in college, just telling people that I wanted to be a producer. I didn't even really know all of that would entail. But I remember one of my friends in college saying, but that's hard. And I just remember thinking like, okay. So like,
exactly.
Well, that's not a reason to not do it.
Wow.
And years later, I saw that friend when I was in town for work, visiting the city that he lived in. And he was like, man, you did it. And I'm thinking like, I mean, by no means is all of it easy, but it's like, well, yeah, I mean, this is what I said I wanted to do. If you're going to do something, you got to work for it and you can get there. Yeah. But I guess, people sometimes it's hard for them to see how you can do that. So but it's like, don't put that on me though.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I totally agree with you. Yeah, because the same thing with me. Even the little bit, I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface, done as much as I would like to do. Not even close to where you've been in your life. But the little bit I've done, people are like, "Wow, you've done a lot." I'm like, "Really?"
I think you've done.
See,
a lot.
I don't even see it the way other people do.
Yes, but I think you've done a lot. So don't sell yourself short. And
that means a lot coming from you.
And I do that myself because I'm like not exactly where I want to be.
Yeah.
But I think that says a lot too about people who have like big dreams and things that they want to achieve. Like you could still have done a lot, but you still like, man, I'm not where I want to be. And a thing that one of my old bosses said, and he was like, he noticed, he's like, I don't think you take time to celebrate your wins.
Yes.
And I think sometimes when we're trying to get to the next thing, I'm not where I want to be, we can sometimes forget about all the things you have done. Yeah. Especially in, when the circumstances weren't easy.
Yes.
You still did it anyway. Like a lot of the plays and different things that you've done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for telling me that. Which you're right. I have to remind myself, like, you've done a lot. You've come far, girl. Appreciate it. Give yourself your flowers. So that actually goes right into the first question I was going to ask you, which is, how did your journey in this business begin?
Ooh, a long time ago. No, I'm kidding. Wow. How do I'll try to give the short version.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I mean, I kind of always have been drawn to entertainment in some sort of way, but I didn't really know it because, grew up in a Nigerian family.
Yes.
Nobody's saying like you should be anything. It's not like now where you see all these Nigerian actors and musicians, all these entertainers. Yeah. It was like doctor, lawyer, engineer, something like that, something prestigious. So, but I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be a stunt woman at one point. Wow. And then I realized you could get hurt. So I kind of changed my mind. But I was a little tomboy, so I was interested in that. And then I kind of put it away for a while. But when I in high school, just kind of, I know I'm going way back, but I have a point. Okay. In high school, I was being kind of going down the science route, and I even had my science teacher put me up for this award I didn't even know about, and I got this fellowship to NIH, the National Institutes of Health, and I worked in this lab doing all this important laboratory work the whole summer before my senior year. Oh wow! And while I was in the lab, I realized like this ain't what I want to do. Like, and not that I had to be in a lab, but I was like, what do you really want to do? I started asking myself that question. And because I always been like enamored with like films and stuff like that. My dad, always watched a lot of movies. Okay. So I just kind of, I don't know. I really don't remember how I thought about being a producer, but I started to get, when I was curious, I went to the library, got a lot of books about being a producer. So to read, what does a producer do? This before you could just be on your phone and like Google everything. Yeah. So dating myself. It's okay. But, ultimately I decided to go to school, study that. But it was on the East Coast, so kind of still a lot I didn't learn. So I moved out here, kind of got started, just like interning at The Young and the Restless, which was like very fun because I used to watch it growing up. Okay. Worked on some reality shows, but I kind of realized that wasn't really where I wanted to be. But I kind of just worked my way up. Like I literally started at the bottom and worked my way up, and just always made sure no matter what job I had, I always did the best I could do because that's how I felt people would notice me. Okay. And then take an interest in helping me get to the next level, which is what always happened. I wanted to tell different types of stories. So I ended up I really came out here to do like scripted TV and film, but I didn't know how to get into it. So I kind of fell into reality, and then I moved over to documentaries with like the original American Gangster series that later became Trap Queens many years later.
Yeah.
And then with that company, I started working with a lot of the same people. And then they had the show Unsung, a music show.
Wow.
And I started working on that. I started as associate producer, moved up to a producer, senior producer, that was just producing episodes, and eventually was co-executive producer on the show for a while, and just it was just a great experience. You know, I'm producing shows and you know, meeting all types of people, including people whose music I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
And all kinds of just celebrities and just, you know, people who are inspiring to people, and learned how to really interview people. I already had a natural curiosity, so I was able to kind of put that in there.
Okay.
But there was still something that like wasn't being fed, because I wasn't what I initially came to do.
Okay.
And you could keep going and just doing the job that you're doing, because it was cool.
Yeah, of course.
But when you're still not where you really want to be, you could ignore it, but I couldn't. And I really wanted to direct and do more like films.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, let me just try to do that on the side, you know, on my free time. So that's when I started directing short films. My second one, the first one was written by a friend, and then the second one I actually submitted for a program. I didn't get into it, but I promised that I would make it no matter what. Okay. So I had written that one about a personal family situation, Yummy's Dilemma.
Yummy's Dilemma. Yes.
And those, you were in that as well.
Yes, I did a little cameo, y'all, in that one.
You were in that. Had some fun cameos in that film, and you know, just kept going from there. And that's when I just kind of realized, okay, this is where I feel like I belong a little bit more, like on set. And I really want to do. And I've directed some people saw that from the really great organization, African Artists Association.
Yes,
that's how I met
3As.
you.
That's how we met. Yeah, shout out to 3As, Francis.
You know, and some other people there, they needed a director, so they hit me up. So I was able to direct some web series. I'd like to do more directing. And I've been still writing and stuff like that. But that's kind of how I went. Like, just started from the bottom, just worked, and always let people know what I was interested in, but still did the job I had really, to the best of my ability, because that's good.
That's good, love, because I think it's important for people to hear that, because I know for a fact there's people who see everything you've accomplished, but they don't know how you started, like literally from the beginning, like from the ground up, you know? Right. And they don't want to do what you did when you started to get to where you are now, you know? And that's why I love asking that question. I love that you went way back to when you were interning on Young and Restless, where people were like, oh, there's no way I'm going to do that these days. I'm just going to meet somebody and I'll become a director tomorrow. Like,
unpaid internship.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, and I do have to bring something up. There's a certain somebody that you know that I dated earlier this year. He kept dropping your name. This was different, you know, because I know it's happened to you a couple times when people like will try to ask you for advice or ask you for help and things like that. That kind of goes into the next question. Okay. But this person kept dropping your name a couple times, and I couldn't help, of course, we're not together anymore, but when we were dating, like, I was like, are you dating to get close to my friend? Like, he was dating me to like get to know you, because he wanted to know so much about how you got to be a director, because he was a director too, and he has the same, you know, goals and aspirations, and he would always talk about it, and he would keep dropping your name. And I just think that, and he does a lot of things where he's networking and trying to meet people and things like that. And me and him talked about this, how he really wants to get in front of every single person that's doing what he's doing. And I'm just kind of like, it's important for people like him to know that is not how you're gonna get there. Like, maybe if you're lucky, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's work that needs to be done, right? Besides, I'm just gonna meet every director I can, and then I'll just get discovered, and my career will take off. Like, please tell me. Maybe I'm bugging. I do
think there's something to be said about like networking. Yes, and that's something I don't always do enough of, is because I have a more, I mean, like, I think everybody who knows me really well knows, like, does not think I'm shy or quiet. But I am in, like, around people I don't know, in new settings. Around people I know really well, I'm comfortable. It's like, whatever.
Of course.
But, so, it's not always the best it's not always the easiest thing for me. Plus, I'm someone who doesn't really enjoy small talk, and you have to like do that. But so sometimes I feel like I've missed out on opportunities because I'm not out here meeting people. But I do think you have to work. I think it's got to be a combination.
Okay,
because
that's good.
If you're just meeting people, they at some point are going to ask to see something you've done or to know about something you've done. So like, what have you done? You know? Plus, it's great to meet people.
Okay.
But what are you going to do when you get the opportunity?
Nice.
Have you done the work?
That's good.
Do you have the experience? And one of the great things about making short films, as opposed to, I know some people like to jump into like a feature, which is fine. If you got the money, go ahead.
Go ahead. Right.
But it's great practice with less money on the line. I think doing shorts, you can get your friends together, actor friends or people you know, whatever, and keep developing and shaping a story, learning as a whatever it is you were doing on the short as a director, writer, producer. You can just keep getting better and better. So it's great. You can meet people all day, but I feel like you got to be working and let your work. Sometimes I'm a let your work speak for yourself person. I mean, there's a little bit you got to let people got to know who you are, so your work can speak to somebody. But yes, I totally think it's got to be a lot more work into it.
Wow, that's so good. I think that just helps someone. You just bless somebody's socks off because that's good. That was really good. There were some things in there that I needed to know too. That's good to know. All right. Well, moving on. We have so much to talk about, girl. You go above and beyond, and I'm speaking for myself because I've known you for a while. How long have we known each other? Like,
man,
I feel like
at least 10 years.
10 years at least now. Yeah. We're in 2025.
Yemi's Dilemma, and I shot it in 2015.
15, yeah. So, and that we met like maybe a year before around that time. Yeah, that's 10 years. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, so I know for a fact you go above and beyond for others and you stay humble in the process. When you help your friends, the people you care about, you naturally for you, it's nothing. You'll do it above and beyond, in my opinion, And I just think that's an amazing thing with you. But how do you stay grounded and without letting people take advantage of you? Because I feel like sometimes, people will walk all over you like, oh, every time I ask her for something, she'll do it, Oh,
yeah. I definitely had to get to a point. I think it comes with I know it's like what people say all the time, age and like wisdom and stuff and experience. You kind of, because I've definitely been a person that always wanted to try to help people and try to be there for people. But, because I felt when I moved out here, I didn't know who to ask for help. And then when I didn't get help. And even now there's people I've reached out to who were like people I looked up to, people that whose work I was inspired by, who, they don't help, so, but so I always want to help people, but at the same time, you have to have, you got to have boundaries. You can't help everybody.
Exactly.
You don't have the time to help everyone all the time. And I mean, but there's ways you can help people.
Yeah.
And that's why I still try to do that, even if I can't do exactly what they want. But, there's a line where people are taking advantage, or they're taking more than they're giving, or not understanding your circumstances or things like that, or not understanding what they're asking for is too much.
Okay, that makes sense.
For instance, I don't know, for me, people want me to read their script. I got a small. That's exactly.
I have that problem too.
It is very time consuming, especially because when I read your script, I'm reading it. I'm probably
me too.
I'm reading it slow because I'm reading it for real comprehension.
Exactly.
I'm probably gonna I might be on page 10 and be like, wait a minute, what happened? I'm trying to connect some page 2, so it might take me a while to get to page 30.
Yeah.
And I kind of prefer reading friends' scripts, like friends, close friends, and things like that, because that's like my circle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember I was in this producers guild. I'm in the producers guild, and there was a group that they had. I think this was during COVID, when a lot of people weren't working, and they had this meeting about other ways to make money. And one of the people recommended, who was running it, is you should not be giving if people they're not you're in your circle are asking you to do things like reading a script. Especially a longer one.
Yeah.
It's you should be charging consulting fees.
Yes.
And I never thought about that.
You never thought about that.
And because they're that is, and I'm still thinking no, that's not right.
Oh my goodness.
But they were just when they started talking about the amount of time it takes and breaking it down seriously, I was like, yeah, they're kind of right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm going to go, do that in every case, but I know in certain cases, that might be too much of an ask, or maybe I could give you some feedback in other ways, but like I can't. That's a lot more. Or if you ask me and I can say yes or no, you can ask. But I don't like when people take advantage, like they try to sneak in a request, like they ask you for one thing and then it's like, oh, can you do this too? And it's like, okay.
See, that's annoying.
Then it's like, you know, they know I'm a nice person and I already am helping them with this one thing, so it's going to be harder. They think it'll be harder for me to say no.
Yeah.
So I learned to say, I think there was like a year I had like the year of the no, where I was just starting to say no without reasons. No, I still have struggle with that bit, but like without like having to give an excuse. I don't have to give an excuse.
Yes, so, I agree. It's like they're trying to test you almost. I feel like they're like, oh, she did that. Let me see if she'll do this too. Yeah, because I see people do that to me all the time until I put my foot down. I don't have a problem saying no to people. Like, especially now, like I'm in graduate school and my time is so valuable. Time is going by like this, you know, because I have papers and stuff to write, and I gotta really use my time wisely now, you know. And I've always had a big, you know, concept of time, but maybe because I'm getting older too, that's what it is. But I'm just like, yo, my time is valuable. I can't waste it on things. I gotta make sure I'm using my time to do things that are important and productive. You know. So you get to that place where you do gotta get like, no.
Sometimes it's okay if sometimes you're busy and it's okay to say no. And I used to feel really bad about that. And it's not that I don't want to help, or I'll be like, can I help you get back to you later? Can I do this later? Then, but there's some people like they want what they want right now, and it's like it doesn't really work, you know. But you know, and there's people who will, because they know I'm nice, will try to take advantage of that.
That's what it is. Because we're, you know, we're both Nigerians, and maybe because we're both sweet and beautiful, you know, people think we're just a sucker. Like,
and there's that. I think there's that in the culturally this obligation, like you what's the thing?
You're
like
where
I know my mom is like, she always is trying to like help people and feels like you gotta be there, and especially amongst like the community. But just like sometimes you just don't have it in you, and you just you know, and it's okay.
It is okay.
You do what you can and you help who you can.
Exactly. So. And the people who are close to you will understand. They're not gonna get mad at you. You know, your real friends, they're not gonna take advantage of you. They know you're busy. Like, I know you're busy. I was patient, right? Waiting for you to be on my podcast. Like, I think I'm a patient friend, right? So I can't be mad like, oh, Sade, she's never.
And I hit you up. I was like, hey, I'm free.
That's because, you know, I know your heart. That's easy for me because I know your heart, and I know the heart of people close to me. You know, and I think I try to reciprocate that heart, you know, friendship, and that I understand. I know you got this. You know, I know if you have the time, and you can do this for me. You know, so that's what it's about. But you know, the people who always want more, they're not that close to you. It's the people who, you know, I hate to say it, but anyways, moving on. So when you and your partner, Deshaun, which we're going to have here in a future episode, I can't wait. That's going to be amazing. When you guys walk into a room, I don't know if you notice, but I've noticed the energy shifts. It does.
Really?
When you both walk in. Yes. I'm not around you guys all the time, but I feel like twice at least I've been around both of you, and I feel something. I feel an energy in the presence in the room, you know? And I just wonder, how do you keep that positive energy even when dealing with tough personalities? Because I know you've dealt with some tough and that means actors, producers, like all of it. How do you handle that?
For those who don't know, yes. I have a writing and producing partner. Her name is Deshaun Player.
Yes.
Awesome. Shout out to Deshaun.
Yes, Deshaun Player.
Awesome partner that I worked with since my second short film. And she directed First Day Back.
Yes.
Which is a great film. How do we... you said maintain like a positive,
like a positive energy, even though people are like disrespectful or don't really want to, or they're intimidated by both of you, because I think that's where it comes from. You're women, maybe men. I gotta be real. Men act different around women who are doing what we're doing.
We've encountered all kinds of different things. I think it starts for us with that both of us just have like a positive spirit and try to bring that like on set or anywhere we are. We try to bring that. Deshaun, I know, and is very big, and so am I, about like fairness. Like, so we just kind of come with this mentality of positivity. Now, if you come like, you tripping and you acting wrong, then you have to deal with that.
We have to deal with that, exactly.
We just like to treat people, even if we can't pay people what we want to pay them. We try to be as fair as possible. We try to make the environment on set as positive, as happy as possible.
Of course.
We just both, I think, have general positive spirit within a positive spirit, and we both try to treat people the way that we want to be treated.
Of course.
So that's kind of how we approach things, and I think that works because we're both similar in that way. Although it doesn't always work. But that's how we approach things. No matter what.
So. I'm gonna shift and ask you this question. Because, this is a good question to ask. Because, and again, a few things I've done as a director, as a producer. I directed my own play. I cast most of my projects. And I've dealt with some interesting personalities as far as actors goes. Yeah. And I'm just curious because moving forward, I'm going to be casting a film and a play. And I'm wondering, is it ethically, or is there a way to properly maybe put it in like a casting notice about mental health? Because this is a big deal for me because I've just seen so much. I've seen a lot, and I feel like even for the film that I'm about to do that I want to produce, Love After Despair, it's kind of like a sad story. And I do want to make sure the actor knows it's a sad story. You have to go to some deep places. So I'm just want to ask you, from your point of view, like what's a healthy, positive way without sounding negative of how do I put like how's your mental health, or actor must have good mental health for this role, or like I don't know how.
I don't know if you technically can do that.
Because
that's
like, what I
it's
thought.
Like I think legally you can't.
I feel like
that.
You can't,
but I think you can kind of ask certain
them
questions
in person,
when
or?
you're maybe, and not necessarily ask that, but like find some questions related to what your story's about, and kind of get a sense of what that person's meant, how they feel about that, their thoughts on it.
That's good.
Kind of get a sense, because if they react a certain way, and maybe even ask a question that someone could react badly to, and see if, not in a bad way, but see if how they handle that question. And then you can put in the casting, I think, notice, you can say that, I don't know whether you can either put it in the description of the project or that character that, they, go to like deep places or something like that.
Just to let them know.
Know that this is a, serious role that, deals with this issue, or that issue, whatever.
That's perfect.
Good.
That would
and then when you talk to them, probably can kind of figure stuff out. But you can probably also say, like, this can be a taxing role mentally, and how do you feel about that? That might be a way to
that might be a good way to put it too.
Maybe,
No, that's good. That's good. Because I do think I think I've read some casting notices where they've put little things to where you said it in the description. So, but I had to ask that question because also, you can't control everything in life. Life happens. People are different. Everybody has different personalities, but I've just noticed a lot of stuff.
You can imagine. Sometimes you want to ask, like,
and
are you gonna be like, I don't know. You just want to put certain things. Like, I love working with actors. That's another reason I like.
do too.
And you're an actor, of course.
Of course.
But occasionally you encounter some folks where you wish you could have. There is no way to know, but you wish you could have found out some sort of way. It's like, are you? How can we put in here? It's like, are you going to be a problem on set? Like, but usually, not all the time, but sometimes there's a small little, just like in relationships, there's like little red flags that you just ignored. Or you kind of like, oh, it's just this circumstance or that. And then you realize later that, like, I should have known this person was going to be trouble. So,
but I do have to admit, because there's an actor that I worked with who's actually an amazing actor. He's very talented, but he has some memory issues. And he never wanted to tell me. But I figured it out because, he was clearly confused when we were on set working, and later on then he told me he had some memory issues. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I was gonna drop him, I was gonna recast him, and then I just felt the Holy Spirit, I think God just told me, no, keep him, he's a good actor, he shows up, he was doing the work, but I could tell he was struggling, but I didn't know that that was what it was. And I do wish he told me. I wish he did, like, because I would have been more understanding, I would have, as opposed to a few times I was a little annoyed by him, and I was like, why are you asking me this again? I already told you,
I think he probably was scared because it's like to share that. Some people might be like, oh, I don't want to work with you. But it is, in those cases, sometimes better to say something, because then you can know, okay, I might have to work with you in a little bit of a different way. But I really want to keep working
But I wanted to keep
But
you,
I get it.
It's a tough thing. And again, I'm shocked that I've already dealt with this already. I'm like, I've only directed, produced, 3 projects.
That's plenty.
That's plenty, though. I've had a lot of encounters and experiences, but I'm blessed by it, though. I won't complain.
It's all learning experiences.
It's all exactly, right? This is an interesting question I wanted to get your opinion on. It's just because I'm a deep thinker and these things just pop up in my brain. Do you think life is more about or defined by where you start or where you finish, and why? Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna say where life is defined by, I definitely would want to think it's defined more by like where you finish, because you know, people have all kinds of circumstances and start out in all kinds of places. So you don't know what it took someone to get to where they ended up. So it's like I don't want to be defined by where I started. I'd rather be defined by, you know, where I land. And I say that because I know that I would be working hard to get to wherever destination, wherever I'm going to be, whatever I want to do and achieve in life. So, but if you looked at I feel like your beginnings too is not really defined by you, because usually you're born, you have no choice in that, and where you grew up, you usually didn't have a choice in that or anything like that. And all those early life circumstances are determined by your family, and you know, or things that happen, unfortunate things that could happen in your life, or fortunate things that some people are blessed to happen. And you know, that's not your doing. You didn't have anything to do with that. So I think it's more about like where you finish and whatever work you put in to get to wherever you are.
Oh, I like it. That's so good. Yeah. I kind of feel like it kind of relates a little bit to that quote of like also not putting limitations on other people, because we all have different beginnings. You know, our path's always going to be different. We all have a different journey.
Absolutely.
So, but I think it's interesting to look at both of where you start, because you always feel more humble, you know, when I go back and look and I'm like, man, and then see where I'm at. You know what I mean?
It is a little both.
It's both.
Like,
it kind of is.
I think some people you think of, like you said, like, oh man, this is where you started from to get over here. But it's like, you know, if you didn't have anything either, I don't want anybody to judge me solely on that. But it's a mix. But I think I'd like to be thought about where I get to at some point, not just where I started, because I don't feel like I had much to do with where I started from.
Exactly. So. I agree. Man, that's so good. That was so good. Okay. That was just in my brain, because my brain's always going. This one, it's kind of sort of relates a little bit, but it's a little different shift on waiting and transition, because this is it's a process for me every day, girl. Transitioning, waiting for things. Life might feel like a waiting game, but is it possible we already have everything we really need? Do you agree or disagree? Why or why not?
It's funny. I've been thinking about that a lot, because I feel like we go through different transitions, or even if they're not transitions, they are kind of, for me, different periods of time where I'm doing like a lot of self-reflection and work. Dealing with some stuff the past few months, so I was kind of doing some more self-reflection. But to get to your point, say part of the question again, because there's multiple parts I want to like.
I said that life is always a waiting game.
The waiting game.
And I said life might feel like a waiting game, but is it possible we already have everything we need right now where we are? And do you agree or disagree?
I think I do. I actually do think we have, and this is something I've been thinking about the last couple of months. I think we do have everything.
Really?
Not everything. Not every last
Not
thing.
everything,
I think
but, okay.
The general things that we need, I think we do have inside of us.
Interesting.
It's just, like, and the reason I say that is because sometimes I've struggled with, like, self-doubt on, you know, I'm extremely hard on myself. I doubt myself a lot, even though I know I either have already done this thing or can do it, or I'm learning and I'm getting better. But I think that, you know, if you believe that you have what you need, it's just either honing the skills, bringing it out. I know that I have what I need to do the things that I want to do. It's just getting rid of some negative thoughts, or maybe if it's maybe taking a class to learn more skills. It's not that I don't have it. I feel like you really deep down have the abilities of maybe it's not all the details of every last skill. You might have to learn a few things. You might need to go to class to sharpen some skills. But I think you have what you need. It's just a lot of times we don't believe that we do. And I feel like when we're in like waiting periods, which can be, or transitional periods, it can be like the hardest, most annoying times. But it's also technically, to me, the best time. Because it's what's sharpening you to be better, a better person, or a better director, a better writer, a better whatever. But it's the most uncomfortable times. And that's why a lot of people don't want to deal with the transition times because it's uncomfortable, because you don't have whatever you want. You're not where you want to be.
Yeah.
But it's the time where I think the most growth happens.
Yes.
So, and I think we do have what we need as far as like just belief, confidence, a will to do certain things, whatever the roots of whatever talent that you have, it's there. Yeah. It's not like it gets dropped in you later. It's there. It's just taking the time to, do more with it. So I do believe we have what we need. I just think a lot of times people don't believe that. Yeah. A lot of times people they're not comfortable with being in the uncomfortable transition time. Yes. So they try to distract themselves.
That transition is so necessary.
It is. So you try to distract yourself, or you try to do something else, or you try to, just do anything but sometimes you got to sit in that discomfort. Like I'm waiting for certain things. There's certain things I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Certain
I feel
projects.
Like we're always waiting.
Yeah.
Aren't we always waiting for something?
There's a lot of things I'm waiting for. So you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I do know what you mean. So I'm your sister. I know.
But I used to get so frustrated, like, why hasn't this happened yet? And why isn't this? And I'm like, no, it's like that's the time where you're being like, I feel like God is sharpening you and making you better and better and better, so that you can be the very preach. And that's if you're willing to do the work to be the best version of yourself. You can be in all the different areas. And a lot of people don't want to do that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, that's so good. You just threw a whole bunch of nuggets in that. You just blessed my socks off. It's a process for me, girl. This is why I just had the question.
It's a process for me, too.
Yeah. And I think the other part of the question, I was like, something about the middle. I can't find that. But about the middle, like if the middle of where we are from, the beginning, middle, and end, like the importance of being in that in-between moment before we get to a certain point, that it's very important and more important than the destination.
People always say it's the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, I think me and Tony talked about that. Tony Tamby.
Sometimes you don't want to hear that because you're just like, well, I just want to get to where I want to go. Yeah. But it is. We spend so much time just lamenting about where we want to be and we're not there, and so focused on getting there that like you're missing all the like good stuff happening around you.
Yes.
Which is, the people around you, the other life things that are happening around you, and also just within yourself. Because yes, you're not where you want to be, but like looking within where you are now, taking stock of where you are compared to where you used to be, different things. Like it's a good time. It's just we don't. Nobody wants to be in transition. You want to be where you want to be.
Exactly.
But the transition is actually not bad.
It's not bad at all. Yeah. Yeah. And I can honestly tell you now, too, at 47 now, I have a little bit more wisdom than I used to. There's times that I remember in the past that I was going through a transition to get me to where I am now. And I value that now. Now that I'm here, I'm like, I'm so thankful I went through that. Even though it was painful and uncomfortable back then, I'm so glad I went through it, because I'm really in a place where I'm more mature. And I feel like I can handle the blessing and the work and everything it takes to get where I'm at because of what I went through before. Yeah. Right? Definitely. So that's what it is. That's where that growth happens, right? That is so good.
I feel like I've been going through another little area of growth just because of some stuff, and it's good. Like sometimes, things happen that aren't so positive, but if you take it and like try to take a lesson from it and learn and grow and use that time to grow. Yeah. And like it can be really beautiful
thing. Exactly. Yeah. Ooh, girl. So much in there. That was a lot. There was a lot of blessings in there, girl. Okay. I just want to ask you this question. I'm just curious. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. We might have a couple times in our girl conversation. Okay. But I'm curious, in the entertainment industry, for where you are in your life, I feel like women can sometimes feel pressure to compete. Right? Have you ever experienced that with anyone? And if you did, how did you handle it?
I don't know if I felt... I feel like we all, I think just in general, there's a lot of competitiveness. Yeah. I don't think I felt that in particular with other women. Okay. Although I have dealt with other people who I felt were competing with me. And I'm like, I'm not competing with you. I'm not trying to compete. I thought we was friends. Exactly. So I guess in that sense, I've dealt with that, where people, you thought you were either working with someone or you just were maybe thinking you're thinking you're friends, and you realize that this person's competing. Yeah, now that I think about it, I have dealt with that not in the way I initially thought of it, but on multiple levels, where it's like, I've dealt with a friend in the past, like someone I'm not friends with anymore. But
same here. I'm not friends with anybody who I felt that energy with. Nobody's in my circle.
I don't like that. Because it's like, if I'm friends, it's like, I'm here to support you. Of course, I'm going to go for what I want.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sacrifice what I want because of someone else. But at the same time, I'm not like competing with you. Like, go for it. Do your thing. Be great. You know, and I'm going to cheer for you. And I hope you'll cheer for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to jump. Like, this friend would, like, literally, I mean, it was any situation. It could be work. It could be being out at a bar talking to a guy. Like, she would, like, literally jump in front of me and, like, start talking to the guy. And, like, change the subject to something like, about, like, it would be in this particular, I don't care, I ain't been friends with her in years, but
okay, go ahead. Tell the story.
Without getting into detail, but it's just like, I like football. Like, I do like football. I watch football, but I wouldn't say I'm like an expert. Like, I just like all the like the details. But she worked in sports years ago. Okay. And I remember and it wasn't like I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go holler at this person or anything. It was just talking to a guy. He definitely was attractive. Okay. But we're just having a conversation, and she's done this before, where she would slide in and start. She used to work in sports, so she knew, like, she could speak the language of football a lot better than I could. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So she would use that as a way to, like, change the subject to something else, whatever else we were talking about, to start talking about sports.
Okay.
And take over the conversation.
Okay.
And it wasn't just in that realm. It was in the work area too, where it felt like a bit of like a competitive energy, whereas it took me a long time to realize it. But I was just like, I thought we were all friends. But little things like that was one way she would it felt like she was trying to compete all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it was, whether it was at work or at other things, it was just like, oh, I gotta get the better of this situation. Yeah. And I got tired of that. Yeah. It was just like, among other things. Yeah. It was just like, that's not necessary. Yeah. And then you've definitely dealt with people, friends, male or female, who have you thought they were friends.
It's weird when guys do it. Yeah. It's so weird when guys do that. I've noticed guys doing it. I'm like,
people who like couldn't deal with the fact that I might have been doing a little better than they were. Yeah. In the career wise.
Really?
Not a lot, but and it's just like, but we weren't doing the exact same thing, and we can help each other. I feel like you can inspire each other. You can maybe directly help each other. Yeah. But it's like, we don't have to compete. No, we don't. Especially amongst ourselves as Black people.
Especially as Black folks.
We should be like trying to all be there, support each other, help each other. If we can help each other. And help is not necessarily doing something, but just support. It can just be, but why do we gotta be competing?
Exactly. Because I talked about it a couple times with I think Paris was on here. Shout out to Paris Sade. She was on here and we talked about it. I was like, I love supporting women. I love seeing my girls win. Like, you're probably one of the most supportive of my friends. You and my friend Camille. Shout out to my best friend Camille in New York. She's probably just like you. You guys are the most supportive people in my life. Like, you've seen everything I've done. You motivate me. You give me my flowers. And I have women that I'm not friends with anymore. Thank you, God, for removing them. They could never do that to me. They could never speak power into me. They could never ever tell me like, oh, shout out, good job, whatever. Like, they just could never do that. And I just feel like there's something about that. As women, we should be able to support each other, and give each other's flowers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I agree with you, So yeah, girl, listen. Last question, because being that we were talking about dating, I think this is a good transition, right? Is playing hard to get still an effective dating strategy today, or just outdated advice? How do you feel about that?
I feel like playing hard to get just for the sake of playing hard to get is like outdated or not, or to me, but just not cool, not the thing to do. But I do think there's something to be said about like, not being so easily attainable and obtainable, or I don't know if I'm saying the right word, but not so easy to get. Right. And I think, and that's not just from not from a playing games type of standpoint, but just from a, not totally putting yourself out there until you really know who someone is and if they're really worth the time. Yeah. So I think you should, and it doesn't have to be a playing thing. It's just like, you got a life and other things to do, and friends, family, other work, whatever. Yeah. It's like, don't be so available, and, do your thing. Yeah. And let that person, I think, let a man prove that he really wants to be in your life.
Yes. So I agree.
So maybe it is in that way, playing hard to get, but not like some people do it just to like they're really just like playing games.
Yeah.
Like I'm not here for playing games.
Exactly.
Like if you like somebody, you like them.
Yeah.
You should let it be known. Let them, they should let it be known. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you should also just be jumping in and giving all of your time to somebody,
someone.
especially.
I agree, until they earn it.
Yes.
Exactly. I agree with you. Because, we have Battle of the Sexes coming up September 28th, y'all. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. And this is what interesting to me because I realize as older, that now that I'm older, when I was younger, I never really, I guess to some extent I would play hard to get, I guess. But I never really thought of it that way. It was just like, I would just feed the energy of the men I was dating. Like if they were giving me energy, because I'm attracted to men who are attracted to me, who pursue me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And funny enough, I had this conversation with my therapist. We were talking about something and she was like, oh, you can ask a guy out. And I was like, no, I don't ask men out. That's not me. I don't ask men on dates. And she was like, well, you got to watch your ego or something. I was like, an ego? Because I don't ask men out on dates? I was like, call it whatever you want. I don't ask men out on dates. I've never had to. I've been on 200 dates. Men ask me out. But don't get it twisted. I do believe that it's okay to present yourself and make yourself available to a guy. Because if you walk around, with a look on your face like you don't want to talk to anybody, nobody's going to approach you.
Exactly.
Right? So, I mean, I do believe in being yourself open to be approached, but I do think there's something to be said about just feeding off the energy you're getting from someone. Because if a guy's not giving me like 100% energy, or I feel like he's just kind of halfway, because we live in LA and sometimes men will act like they're interested, but they're not really interested.
Yeah.
But they're trying to see if they can kind of sort of, I don't know what they're doing.
No,
They'll
I
ask
don't
for your
know.
number, then they won't call, or they'll call you and then wait 2 weeks and call you
No.
again. Like, it's weird.
It's weird.
It's so
That's something
weird,
I never
right?
got used to because I'm from the East Coast.
Exactly, me too.
And, the East
That's what we have in common.
Now things might have changed because obviously things were different years ago. But like dudes holler back at on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like they holler from a car.
I agree.
They see you crossing the street.
I
and you
agree.
in another car. They hollering at you from the car.
I agree. Yeah.
But here it's a whole different.
It is
vibe
different.
in LA
When I was in
that
New York, I had a date every weekend.
I've never gotten used to it. No matter how long I've been here, it's just
Guys will
strange.
holla. They'll see you on the subway. Like almost every weekend, I had a date.
When I travel
guys.
when I would go travel for work, especially because I traveled a lot for Unsung.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I loved going other places, especially like New York or other places on the East Coast, because it's not that you don't want anyone to holler at you in a disrespectful way,
Right.
But even because how LA is, even the little cat calls and sometime in New York, I was just like, oh well, that made me feel good today.
Exactly.
Because you get it's so just a different
Little
vibe
confident
here.
boost over here.
But no, I think I'm with you on the not asking out on a date, especially now. Like I might have been more like, oh, a woman can, I don't know if I ever felt that a woman should, but I definitely agree with presenting yourself or putting yourself out there, making the first move only in like you could be if you're sitting next to someone at a bar somewhere or at a wherever, the grocery store, you could just start a conversation.
Okay.
But I don't I'm not asking you out because I need to know that you're interested.
And the right guy knows. They know the energy. Guys are not dumb. Guys are smart.
And they usually want to.
Yeah.
At least the kind of guys I like, they want to.
They want to hunt. Men are hunters, right? They want to pursue.
And they want to.
Yeah.
Let them
They
do
want
their
a little
thing,
bit of
be
that
a man.
hunt.
Yeah.
They want a little bit of that, So I do believe on some level we should make it easy for these guys because they want to work a little bit.
Yeah.
And they should have to because we're queens. We're prize. Like you should want to do the work to win us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyways, more on Battle of the Sexes at the end of the month,
Yes.
y'all. Come to
I won't go into it too much. I know we're limited on time. But remember since you said we're the prize, remember when we were...
Yes.
You remember that guy who said he was the prize?
Yes, I
remember
remember the Nigerian guy.
I'm not saying men aren't prizes, but the approach of that particular...
That was crazy.
That statement, because I wasn't interested.
But that's why I brought it up. Remember the first Battle of the Sexes, the guys in the room actually said that comes from a guy's ego feeling like he was like hurt because you weren't going to give him your number, and he was just kind of like, what do you mean you don't give me your number? I mean, and I'm not going to lie, he was somewhat attractive guy. I don't think he was bad looking.
It wasn't, and
it was just his energy.
It was his energy, and also it felt like, sometime when you're waiting on the side, your friend is talking to somebody.
Yeah.
They having a minute.
Yeah.
And so you talking to a dude, and then that guy's friend is waiting. I'm waiting. He's waiting. Yeah. You don't need to feel obligated to talk to me while we're just waiting for them to finish their business, exchange numbers, and then we'll go on our way.
Yeah.
And it felt like that because I'd been at the party for quite a while. Sure, it could have been a trying to work the nerve up to talk type of thing, but it didn't feel like that. And his energy was off.
His energy was way off.
He wasn't saying anything in the beginning of the time you guys were talking.
Yeah.
It was
It
just
came
like
he came right out at the last minute, like,
hey,
so
we're
give
both
me your
standing
number.
here, so give me your number.
Yeah. It was weird. I totally agree with you.
like, I'm good.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, guys got to come correct, especially when you're dealing with a queen. Come on now. You got to come the right way, for real. Anyways, we're running out of time, but I wanted to quickly do this rapid question.
Yes.
And then at the end, you can tell our viewers where they can follow you and if you have anything coming up and things like that. Okay.
Yes.
So this is going to have some basics, and then I'm going to go into some industry ones. Okay. So the first one is, do you prefer ice cream or frozen yogurt?
Ooh, I'll take ice cream.
Really?
But
Okay.
I can't. I have issues with dairy.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that's true.
I
Dairy-free or
don't.
vegan.
So I definitely don't even touch frozen. I've never been big into frozen yogurt anyway.
Okay.
But give me some good vegan
about
chocolate
sorbet?
ice cream.
I always get the
love
sorbet. I
Now,
love the sorbets.
I'll take sorbet over all of the above.
That's what I do, girl.
But,
That's what I always get. I get the sorbets.
A good like coconut milk chocolate ice
Ooh.
cream, like so a vegan ice cream that's chocolate.
That sounds so good.
Fire.
I need to try that.
Yes,
It's good.
Sprouts has some.
Sprouts has some? Okay, I gotta try
Lots
that.
of places, but Sprouts has one I particularly like. It's a chocolate truffle ice cream.
Really?
It's so good.
Okay, I need to
have
try
to
that,
like
girl.
stop. Like I just
It's
gotta
gonna
pretend
change
it
my
doesn't
world.
exist, so I don't eat it anymore.
I love it. Okay.
Maybe my freezer calling me.
Oh, Lord.
Like-
Awesome sauce. This is an interesting question. I'm curious to get your opinion or what you're going to say on this one.
Okay.
Would you rather climb a mountain or eat a hot fudge sundae if you had to choose?
I mean, food. Yes, food.
Thank you.
Yes.
That mountain's going to be there for a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pick the sundae.
Pick the sundae
Go like, yeah. You said hot fudge too.
Hot fudge?
Yeah, anything chocolate.
Because I have some real tough people in here who are like, oh, climb a mountain. That's what I do. And I'm like, yeah, I can't say that I'll be back. God forbid I don't come back from from that mountain.
no.
I want the hot fudge sundae.
It's like I like to exercise and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't want to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
I'm good. There's other ways to get your workout.
To get
in.
your workout besides
or maybe
climbing
it's
a
like
mountain.
some kind of achievement thing. And that's great.
Yes,
I'll
which is
take the
great
sundae.
for some people.
Yes, I'll take the sundae.
I'm with you, girl.
Yes.
I'm with you, love.
With
I'm with you on
sprinkles.
that one.
Like-
Okay. All right, here's some industry ones.
Okay.
Would you rather write a screenplay or direct a feature film?
I'll say direct to feature.
I knew you were
film.
gonna pick
Yeah.
that. You love directing.
I like to both. Writing is hard. Like I like to write.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. But that's not why I would pick it though. It's I want to do
wanna
more
direct.
direct. I like directing. So
Okay.
in the best of both worlds I do both. But
course.
yes,
Okay.
I'll pick that.
How about adapt a book into a movie or create an original script? Yeah.
If there's a book, a story, because there's a few that I really like, I would like to. I think that's even more challenging. So I'd like to take that challenge of trying
Okay.
to adapt a screenplay. I have one that Deshaun and I have worked on that is from a book, but yeah, I'll take that. Adapt the screenplay.
Yeah. Okay.
I've done a couple of original ideas, so yeah, it'd be kind of cool to take something I already really love and adapt it.
Oh, I love that. All right. Would you do a Netflix streaming deal or a theatrical box office release?
Man. Oh, okay. Like,
I know.
You know what? I'm going theatrical release only
Okay.
because I love movies.
Okay.
I love TV. I love streaming. But if we going back to the roots of what I originally wanted to do when I moved to LA and started to be in the business, it's like I don't want the experience of theaters to go away ever
Yeah,
because
me
like there's something
too.
so cool about sitting in a room with a whole bunch of other people.
I agree.
Watching the same thing,
I
laughing,
agree.
being scared,
Yes.
crying together.
Yeah.
So I always, and it's so rare now because they don't want to spend the money. A lot of the studios and things to release films theatrically. So if you can get a film or if you do an indie that can be released theatrically, that's a big deal to me.
I
So
agree with you.
I'm gonna go with that one.
I agree with you. I'll go with that one too. Girl, I love that experience too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Now, this is some fun ones.
Okay.
Now, this is with your boo. Not by yourself, but with your boo, your
Okay.
man, your lover, your husband.
Okay.
I'm manifesting.
My future boo.
Yes, your future boo. It's going to happen. Would you rather watch the sunrise or sunset?
Well, I'm gonna say sunset. I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, me neither.
So,
Me neither.
So, I might want to watch the sun rise, but I probably won't get up.
I agree.
So I could do sunset.
Plus, that's more romantic.
I think it's really got a romantic thing too.
I like that.
It's like after sunrise, it's like, all right, you got to go to work or do something. So I'll do sunset.
Okay. All right. Last one. With your boo, would you prefer to spend a beach day or a rainy day indoors?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
I know. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna say a rainy day indoors because I would do the beach day by myself.
Yes.
Like I like to be at the beach by myself and like reflect and or read a book or do whatever. But like rainy day inside, you could cuddle up or get under a little blanket.
That's what I be.
Watch a little dad
That's
movie,
what I be thinking.
You know?
I'm like, ooh, I love the sound of the rain. It's so romantic.
Get some little tea. I'm a tea person, so get a little tea or some hot chocolate for if and just cuddle up, order some food or make some food
and do some other stuff.
Some other stuff.
I'm so silly.
No, I think that's because after a while you get I think the beach is my little reflection time, so I would do
you do that. Okay.
Inside.
And this is just a bonus question real quick and then we're done. When you get to heaven and you arrive at the pearly gates, what do you want God to say to you?
Oh, that's a deep one.
I know you didn't expect that.
Like, whoo. I would like God to say that I lived well, and I in a way that meaning that I treated people well.
Really?
That I,
that's
not just like because you can achieve all kinds of things, but I want to know that when I leave this place, that I really did live a good life, and that I treated people well, and I left a good impression on people, like maybe or influenced people or did something that touched other people's lives. So God said that, man, you touched people, or you inspired people, or you just were good to people. Thanks for being a good person. That might be nice to hear.
So good.
I hope. Because I like to be, I mean, nobody's great. I mean, nobody's happy and feels like giving and doing all the time. But I think overall I'm a kind person, and I try to,
you are.
Consider other people's circumstances. Even when people are being a jerk to me, sometimes I try to consider where they're coming from, because they could be having a really bad day or, so that would be, that's what I would
And
like.
you're already there, girl. You're already that. You're already an amazing person. Thank you so much for doing this, girl. I love you.
This was good. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you. So for the listeners, where can they follow you and what do you have coming up and things like that?
Okay. So you can follow me, just my first and last name, Sade Oyinade, at Sade Oyinade. Instagram, you can find my Instagram, and TikTok, but I hardly ever on there. And I also on Instagram, Snapshot Sade. That's my other account for my photography. And also Flower Ave Films, another page. We have a Instagram for that as well, which is the production company with me and Deshawn. I have coming up the second half of American Gangster Trap Queens is coming out sometime this fall. I don't have the date, but I believe it's November. Okay. So I have I was a consulting producer on the show, and I produced 2 episodes. My first episode aired in the batch that came out in the summer in July, and then my second episode, which is about a woman who is a Nigerian woman who was involved in a romance scam. Wow. I hate that that's something we're known for is scams.
I know, right?
But so I wanted to do the episode. Okay. It's interesting. I have a film. I can't really say anything about it, but a film that will be coming out. I don't know when this is dropping, so this May. But there's a film coming out in a couple months. I'll be able to post about that soon. Okay. That I produced. Nice. With Deshawn and another part of this production company. Okay. And we may be having First Day Back out on another platform soon. Ooh, that's awesome. Cut a trailer and everything for it. So that'll be, you can look out for that. But otherwise just trying to also build on my photography thing. So, but yeah, that's good.
Well, thank you so much for being here, girl. You bless my socks
Salsa
off.
Love 2?
Oh, yeah. Salsa Love 2. It's coming. It's coming. We're going to do Salsa Love 2. I already have the script ready. I have to send it to you, by the way. But I think you'll like it. Yeah, the second one just came to me so easily. It's crazy how it came. I think you'll like it. So I'll send it to you. So yeah, y'all, stay tuned for all of that. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Girl from Schenectady podcast. Please follow me on Instagram I'm at Ayomagic, AYOMAJEK. And please tune in to another fabulous episode. Smooches!